Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all to Shito's Mathematics Coaching Program. Before the commencement of today's lecture, I urge every one of you should kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click on the subscribe button, hit on the bell to get notifications anytime I drop my new videos. So now today we are going to look at the relationship between the roots and coefficients of quadratic equation. First of all, I would like to bring out the general form of quadratic. So we have a s squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. So let me call this equation 1. So this equation is the general form of quadratic. Then, so let's say we now set the root. Let the root of this equation be alpha and beta. So if the root of this equation is said to be alpha and beta, quadratic equation has how many roots? 2 roots. So now if we now set this equation, let's say we assume that this equation is having these 2 roots. You understand? Definitely, if you want to write this one now, so x is same thing. If you say x equals to 2 or 3, you understand? So we came about this from what? From x minus 2, you understand? Or x minus 3 equals to 0. If you remember, that's when we have x equals to, is x minus 2 equals to 0 or x minus 3 equals to 0. Are you getting it? So that we have x equals to 2 and s equals to what? S equals to 3. So now we want to write this root in form of factor like this. So now to write this one like this, you can see that this will be x minus alpha, then x minus what? Beta equals to 0. So if this is the square root, if these are the roots of what this, definitely we have this equation. Are you getting it now? So let's call this one equation 2. So now if this is equation 2, from here let's try to open the bracket. We try to open the bracket. We have s squared, this times this, minus this times this, we have minus x beta, this times this, we have minus x alpha, then this times this, we have plus alpha beta equals to 0. Can you see that now? So what is the next thing? What can we do to this? You can see we have s squared minus. So now what is common here? You can see that x is common here. Then you can have alpha plus beta, because x and minus, that is minus x, is common here. So I bring out the x here, then this is the minus a, then plus alpha beta equals to 0. Let me call this equation 3. So now we are trying to bring one idea. Are you getting it now? So now we want to be looking at the sum of the roots and the product of the roots. So that's the reason why we are trying to bring this idea. So as time goes on, you see what I'm trying to do. So we're almost there now. So now write equation 1, that is from 1. This one can be written as this. Let's say we have a squared divided by a, so that it will be in form of this equation 3, where the coefficient of s squared here will be what? Will be unity, that is 1. So therefore, to do that, we need to divide through by what? A. We have bx over what? Over a plus c over what? A equals to 0 over what? Over a. So automatically, you'll see that we have what? We have s squared plus b over ax. Are you getting it? B over ax plus c over a equals to 0. So let's call this equation 4. So now if you look at this equation 3 and equation 4, you can see the similarities between them. You can compare them because these, we have this s square, we have s square here, it's unity. We have x here, we have x here, we have, you can see alpha beta here, we have this one here. So automatically, trying to compare this and this together, are you getting it? So if you compare the coefficient of this and this, you can see it's 1. But the coefficient of this and this, that is compare 3 and what? And 4. If you compare 3 and 4, that is the coefficient of x and the constant term. So if you want to compare the coefficient of x here, you can see that the coefficient of x here from 3, we have what? We have minus alpha plus beta. Are you getting it? Then equals to the coefficient of x here from this equation 4 is what? B over A. Automatically, if you divide through by minus, understand? So we have what? Over minus 1 here. Automatically, we have what? Alpha plus beta to be equals to minus B over what? B over A. Are you getting it? So therefore, this is what? This is sum. So we call this A plus alpha plus beta is equal to minus B over A. This is called sum of the what? Of the roots. That is sum of the roots. So now you do the same thing. The constant term from 3 is what? Alpha beta. Can you see? And what is the constant term from 4? C over A equals to C over A. So this is the formula. So we call this one product of the what? Of the roots. Are you getting it now? So now what we are trying to say is, if you are given a kind of quadratic equation and you are asked to find the sum of the products, or the sum of the roots, or the products of the what? Of the root. So this is the what? This is the formula you are going to get. So for example, let's say we said find the sum and the products of what? Of the roots of equation 3x squared plus 2x plus 1 equals to 0. Are you getting it now? Equals to 0. So if you want to know this one now, we need this formula. So the first thing is a sum of the roots. So let's say let our roots be alpha and beta. Then we need what? We need sum of the roots, that is sum of the roots, that is equal to alpha plus beta. Are you getting it? Alpha plus beta. So alpha plus beta is same thing as what? Minus B over A from what we have here. So now, according to this equation that we have here, so if you compare this one with this equation that we have here, you can see that this is my A here, this is my B, and this is my C. I get it. Therefore, I can have my alpha plus beta, that is sum of the roots, to be minus, what is my B? 2 over, what is my A? 3. 2 over 3. That is what? That's the sum of the roots. So now, to get the product of the roots, we apply the similar approach. Understand? So alpha beta, that is the product. Understand? The product of the root alpha beta is equals to C over A. So from here, so we need our C. My C here is what? Is 1 and A is 3. Therefore I have 1 over 3. Can you get that? So which is the product of the root, which is the product of the root. So now this is how you can arrive at what, or you can do with the problem that involves what, that involves sum of the roots, or finding the sum of the root and product of the root. Are you getting it? So that is that about that. If you have any question to ask concerning this, so make sure if you want to confirm whether you are very right or not, you understand? So this is the product, and this is what, this is the product, and this is the sum. So now if you look at the equation that we have before, that is minus alpha plus beta x plus alpha beta equals to 0. Are you getting it now? So from this equation, if you try to put the value, you can see this is the sum we got here. Understand? That is x squared minus the sum we have what, minus 2 over 3x plus what is what, alpha beta, that is the product. The product is what, 1 over 3 equals to 0. So if we try to solve this one further, try to combine this one together, I get it, you see that we are going to arrive at what, at this equation given to us. Okay, let me quickly do it. So now to do this one, we try to multiply through by the LCM, which is 3. We have 3x squared. This time this we have what, plus, so 3, 2 over 3 times 3, don't forget we have s here, plus 1 over 3 times 3 equals to 0 times 3. So from here we have 3x squared, 3 we cancel 3 here, plus 2x, then plus this we cancel this one, we have 1 equals to 0. Can you see that we have the same thing we have here? So that is that about what, about solving this. So if you have any question to ask pertaining to what I just did, kindly hit on the comment box and ask your question. So I remain your humble self, Shitu. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly do that so that you get notified anytime I drop my new content. Thanks.